Hi, my name is James Orvis, and today we're going to look at how to create interesting rhythms using multiple LFOs working together. Rather than just using one LFO, we can use a few different ones to interact with each other in really interesting ways to create like really cool grooves and things like that. This is something that I do quite often and something that I really love to do. And it was since I got the Electron Analog 4 synth back in 2011. And the fact that it had it had 4 LFOs basically, but 2 different pages of LFOs. And playing around with those and the interactions between the LFOs, I found really interesting. And yeah, it's something that I really want to share with you guys, and I think it will really help to create really rhythmical results when creating your synth patches. So let's get stuck in. And I'll just start by showing you what we've got here. So we've just got a few different loops from the gradient pack, and together they sound like this. So it's quite a basic drum loop. I didn't want to overdo it, because if we overdo it, it's not going to give us much space really to kind of experiment with the synth sound and fit it into the current loop. And it's also nice to have a loop so we can kind of reference the groove against that as well. So let's have a look at Pigments. I've got Pigments here by Arturia, and I pulled up our binary pack, which is now available on the Audiotent website, and just selected this lead sound, number 62, called Electrode. And the sound is going to remain constant through this tutorial, because we just needed like kind of a basic analog synthy sound, which hasn't got much going on, so then we can add our own LFOs. This did have some, but I've taken them off, and this is what the sound sounds like without the LFOs and stuff going off. And I've just set up a basic chord, really, just one little kind of triad, and we're just going to work with that. So first of all, I'm going to bring the cutoff down, and we're going to start by applying one LFO. So normally this is what most people do. They just apply kind of one LFO and sync that to the filter. What we're going to do is we're going to use a combination of these 3 different LFOs, and maybe we'll start to add some more in, or maybe I'll use functions as well, and we'll kind of use them, try and get something cool going. I've not really planned what the end result's going to be, which is going to be quite fun, and I'm looking forward to just experimenting and seeing what we get out of this together as we just go through it. So let's go ahead and apply the first LFO to the filter. So I kind of like that where it is already, so we've got that on a dotted, let's have a quick look, dotted 1/8, so we'll leave it there. And obviously you can change these waveforms as well, which we'll do later on, but we'll leave it there for now. I think I've actually left these from when I was playing around earlier, so this should give us a cool result straight away. So we'll go to the second one and bring that in. So that's quite cool, we're already getting a nice rhythm going. Maybe I'll bring this LFO one down a little bit. So it's really important that you play around with the depth amounts as well, because you can get really interesting results just by kind of lowering one LFO and bringing the other one up. So if we bring this down and start to bring it up. So that's really nice. And what we can do now, just to kind of just to kind of showcase moving the rates around and what that does to the rhythm. So let's just start to play around with these. So that's really cool. You can get different kind of patterns going on there. And let's just mess around with the waveforms as well. Let's have a look at this, maybe turn that more into that kind of thing. And maybe we'll play around with, let's bring that back up and move the symmetry over. That's quite cool there. But you can see what I mean, like you just kind of keep playing around with different patterns and you get so many interesting results from it. So let's leave them to where they are, and we'll add in a third one as well. So let's go to LFO 3. And again, send it to the same place, to the filter. And you don't have to just do this on the filter as well. You can send this to any kind of parameter on the synth, which we'll go into in the next tutorial. But for this one, we just want to focus on the rhythmic stuff. But yeah, just for this demo, we're just going to use the filter because it's the easiest to kind of hear really what's going on. I really like that, what we've got going on at the moment. So let's just go ahead and start to tune in these depth amounts. Let's just start to bring this one in. Not sure about LFO 3 actually, let's just play around with that a bit more. That's really nice, we'll leave that there. So let's move on. So we've got 3 LFOs all affecting the same parameter and kind of working together really nicely. And let's go and maybe add some more in. So I was only really planning to do kind of 3 LFOs, but I think it'd be quite interesting to mess around with the functions tab as well, because we've pretty much got another 3 kind of LFOs here as well, which are more kind of shapeable really. You can kind of add different nodes in, and you can kind of pull stuff up and actually draw a really interesting LFO pattern in. So let's go ahead and do this. It might sound a bit naff, but we'll play around and see what we can get out of it. Let's have a look. I think you can actually just get like presets as well. Like you've got some presets in here just to kind of get us going. See what we've got. Let's just actually play them. Let's see if we've got this on sync mode. Let's go for triplets just to see what we can get out of that. It might be a bit weird. And I actually need to send that to the cutoff again. Get rid of this. That's cool already. Let's try that. So that's just doing like little steps. It's going up and down like this. Oh, yeah, so you can go minus as well, so you can kind of, every time you're kind of using these LFOs, it's like really pushing up the cutoff. So you can see there the cutoff doesn't really come back to zero much now. So if you, one way around that is you could just like lower all of the LFOs and a relationship between them, or you could do like a reverse LFO where it's actually pushing it down. So it's probably best if I use a different kind of different wave form for that. Maybe this one will work. Yeah, that kind of works. Let's go crazy and just add another one in. I mean, it's getting a little bit messy now for my liking, but just to kind of demonstrate what these different kind of grooves can get out of it. And maybe once we've done that, I'll go back through and we'll just kind of twist some of the settings around on the previous LFOs, see if we can get some weird, interesting results out of it. Let's have a look. I've already got that one going on. Maybe just this one. These are kind of really crazy LFOs, but let's see what we can do. Yeah, that's cool. Let's go in and start to dial some of these back and see if we can get a nice balance between them. Really like that, where that's sitting at the minute actually. So there's a really quick and easy technique to get interesting rhythms and grooves from your synths, just using a bunch of LFOs rather than just one LFO and sending that to the cutoff. I mean, you can send it to any parameter you like, which is something that we're going to look at in the next tutorial. We're going to take this a step further and start to modulate different parameters within the synth, and I'll show you some of my favorite kind of parameters to modulate. I hope this has been really, really useful and it's something that you're looking forward to going away and trying out yourself. Let us know in the comment section below if you have enjoyed this tutorial. If there's anything else you would like us to cover, just let us know that as well and we'll take a look at those. My name's James Orvis. I've had a lot of fun playing around with these LFOs and I look forward to catching you next time.